Morning, Charlie. Can you hear me, Charlie? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. I can hear you too.
Fantastic.
Oh, how's it going?
It's gone really well, thanks. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Oh,
Good.
my sleep's a bit erratic at the moment, so I was in the gym from 7:30 this morning.
Okay. All right. So we had Bruno for 1 second, and there's Tony and Vicky.
Hiding.
Up there's Bruno back. Oh, you two look fantastic. We can't hear you so well, Tony.
Can you not?
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And there's Bruno with his regal background, his royal background. Hey, you look nice, Bruno.
How
All
is
right.
everybody?
I think we're good. I think we're good. How are you, Vicky?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm all right. Are you up for building the container?
No.
Just say yes. Go on, say yes.
Tony will do it.
No, not
Yes.
me.
Okay. Well, look how you're able to look after yourself and say no. 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 Tony will do it.
No.
It's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Yeah. No's a powerful tool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock here in the UK. What time is it in Uganda, Bruno?
It's 1 p.m.
Okay, 1 p.m. in Uganda. David Wright, what time is it in Cape Town?
It is 12 noon. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Great
David.
stuff. All right. So, Bruno, do you want to build the container then?
All right. We can check in with a feeling and I can go first. I am feeling quite okay. Yeah, that is how I'm feeling, and I am going to tag someone. I'm tagging David Wright.
Thanks, Bruno. I am feeling bloody exhausted, to be honest. I follow an energy intuitive, and he talks about people upgrading and also shedding all of the kind of low vibration emotion from the past. And if that's anything to go by, and it's exhausting. So I'm feeling tired. I also feel a little bit stressed. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent on Sunday. But I'm glad I'm here. So grateful as well. That's how I'm checking in. Thanks, Bruno. And I will tag Tony and Vicky.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm feeling quite tired. Me and Vicky's just cooked breakfast for a few homeless people and people in recovery. So we've done them a load of breakfast and that. So it was an early start this morning. That's me. So I'm just feeling exhausted, but in a good way. Felt like I've given something back. Vicky?
Yes, I'm good. A little bit tired. Looking forward to the next couple of weeks being over. But yeah, I'm all right.
We nominate David C.
Okay, so David checking in from my little basement. I check in um with a lot of
Yeah.
will I say gratitude? I don't know about I don't know if gratitude's the right word, but I know what we're doing, we're on the right track. Yeah. that's rewarding. But there's part of me that feels a bit kind of angry that I don't get recognized, that I don't get seen. I feel like, fuck, why aren't people noticing me? So there's part of me that feels left out and not seen, and that narrative in my head impacts my self-esteem and can kind of stir shadow stuff inside me, can stir darkness inside of me. It's like, what about me? What about yeah, I'm grappling with with that sort of stuff. I'll tag Charlie.
Thanks, David. I am checking in. I'm glad I'm on this container. That's what I am. I'm glad because I need this container here today. I have been sitting in a lot of stress for the last couple of weeks, and it's not my stress. It's someone else's stress who I have a guest living with me going on 3 weeks now. And his vibrational level, he's really in the thick of it, really in the thick of it, and he's just sitting moping about, like not just sitting, not even moping about, really, really. Um, and last night when I came in, and I just had to take myself into my bedroom, literally, because I couldn't sit in it anymore. I had to let him, I just had to let him do whatever he was doing, and I couldn't even find a word to go, "Are you all right?" Because I was like, I just can't deal with this amount of like whatever this is around him. So I vacated the space last night, and I've been really out of structure since my guest has been with me. I didn't realize how much it would throw me off my structure. So this week, I'm trying to find my way back into my structure, knowing that I've got a guest that's full of stress and anxiety and stuff. And this is the first time I've really had to deal with someone else's stress so close. Um, but other than that, I'm all right, and I'm all right, and I'm glad I'm on here, as I said. So thanks, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about self-care as people working in this environment with our own kind of challenges as well. So I know Bruno's under all sorts of challenges working in Uganda. There's financial challenges and things like that. Tony and Vicky today working, getting up and feeding homeless people. There will be challenges in that. Charlie, looking after someone who really needs some support at the moment, is really carrying heavy energy. And David Wright with, worrying about his rent and then also doing kind of energy work and having that impact. So how do we look after our own spirit in this stuff? How do we look after ourselves? Who's that
Not
poking their head in? Go,
Oh,
Tony.
by not drinking spirits.
By not drinking spirits. Good start. That's a great start. Humor's a good thing. Yep, using humor as a tool to keep things light. Yeah.
What comes up for me is to never abandon myself. I'm not going to betray my self-care practices or betray myself by not doing them. I need to put that stuff first and foremost to try to stay in the best possible space, regardless of perceived threats or whatever in making me feel and think I'm going to be in shit because I'm not going to be able to meet my commitments to my landlord, blah blah blah. And I can go crazy with that stuff. I have to kind of let go and trust and look after me. I've found that works very well, David. Don't abandon myself. So I stick with my meditations. I have a routine. I make sure I exercise. I make sure I journal when I need to, and I watch my sleep patterns. And as long as I'm doing those things, somehow I'm able to kind of keep going. For me, it's slowing things down as well. Yeah.
Tony, have you lost weight?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Vicky's going no. Okay.
It's all
Your
that
your
way.
your face looks a bit thinner. In
Well, I
nice
had a
way.
shave. I had a shave.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Talking of which, I should do that. So personal hygiene is something I can let slip. Things like shaving and getting haircuts, things like that. There's a part of me that kind of goes, I'll do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow. And then before I know it, I look like a tennis ball. And a frayed tennis ball, not a new tennis ball. And then that can impact my self-esteem as well. And it impacts the way I am with my clients. It's like, my clients don't want to see a disheveled, kind of burnt out looking coach. That's not helpful.
Mm.
What else?
Um,
Balance.
how I manage my self-care is the gym is has been so important in my recovery. Just as is important, actually, it's up there. It's in line with just about anything as I'm going to the gym. The way I look is really important to me as well. Stressing my body under the weights, and I really enjoy that stress management of the weights and lifting and that decompressing in the gym. I like going to the gym and having conversations in the gym. I like the environment of it, and I like it even more that I've got my sober actually. Um, and so my physical, my well-being is up there with just about anything. And for me, my physical, my well-being comes with just like breathing now. It's like it's that disciplined in my life. Like this morning, because I knew I was going to be on this call, and then I'm quite busy afterwards. I was in the gym from about 7:30 this morning to 8:30, and there was not a problem at all. Um, but on the other side of that, what I am learning, what I have put into my life this year, as I've spoken about many times, is the meditation, is the still and the silence, because that's where I was lacking. My physical, my well-being is okay, but my mental, my well-being, and being still and silent is what I've had to put a lot of work into actually, especially the meditation side of stuff, and slowing me down because I can go to the gym and I can talk and I can blah 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 and distract and all this stuff. But the real discipline in my life was trying to slow me down. Which I'm still that will be I I think that will be my journey of a lifetime, man, slowing me down because I always like to be busy and stuff. But and what I found is that if I do my meditation in the morning, I'll do some grounding, I'll do some meditation. That I feel as if I give myself that in the morning, then that's like the foundation for when I leave for my day. But in saying that, in the last few weeks, even that has slipped because of the gym has never slipped, but the hard part of meditation and self-care in this part that has slipped because of the stress that I'm under with this other chap. So it's only been the last 2 days that I've actually clicked onto that. I was like, oh, you've hardly been meditating, you've hardly been doing that stuff. So I was like, oh, I need to look at this. So I've really put that back in the last couple of days, and so that's the first time that it slipped because of stress. So I've just realised that one actually. So that's something that I've just learned. Like the stress that I was having an impact on my self care. Um, so yeah, I just thought I would bring that in.
Any Vicky Bruno?
Yeah,
There we go.
there are a couple of things I do, and one of all is keeping calm. I make sure I keep calm whatever happens. Like in the current situation I am in, I'm thinking things are not connecting, but I keep telling myself, calm down, you are doing your best, everything will be okay. Then the second thing I do is I control my emotions, because we live in a community where anyone speaks anything, and sometimes they utter things or words that can hurt you. I make sure I don't respond anything. If someone annoys me, I keep quiet. I don't act out of emotion. Someone talked about humor. Yeah, humor. I can talk it in a way that sometimes I'm forced to go and watch maybe comedy just online, maybe on YouTube, to just like it makes me laugh and forget the challenges I'm going through. The other thing is I avoid sharing my vision with people who have negative energy, because there are people you can stand and tell them, man, I want to establish a secondary school by next year, and they know you have nothing. They just tell you point blank, you are joking, you are just making a joke, you cannot make it. So I avoid sharing my visions with such people. Then the other thing I do, I always appreciate the people around me. The first one being my family. I have a wife, I have a child. So I feel their presence is so important. I value it a lot and I appreciate it. I also appreciate my community, like the recovery community. That's why I always look forward to joining the container. It warms me up. I feel warm. Then the last one, I'm a praying person. When things are moving out of hand, I go in a silent place, I kneel down and pray. After a good prayer, I feel my nerves, they come back. I feel good. So that is how I handle my self-care. Thank you.
Your energy is infectious, my friend. Just the way that you speak, just your human spirit is very impactful for me as another human being. Thank you.
Thank
Tony,
you.
Vicky?
Probably balance. Yeah, but making sure you've got enough time for self-care. So like 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, and 8 hours personal time, and plenty of you time, whether that's sitting at home and doing nothing with cat or just taking time out. Into my wax melts at the moment, so I'll just go home, light a wax melt, and just chill in front of the telly and practice
What's a wax
gratitude.
melt?
Wax melts. Yeah. Scents.
What is it?
It's like scents. It's like a bar of soap, what you light, and it melts.
Oh, okay. So like a scented candle.
Yeah, similar.
Oh, okay.
And just practice gratitude as well. That's what I'm doing lately. I'm doing gratitude lists and journals and stuff, and practicing that. I think it's important to be grateful of what we've got and not what we haven't got. What are you, Vicky?
I do a lot of adult colouring books and things and try and take time for me as well as being here. Otherwise you just end up burning out. You need to have time for yourself. I do a lot of reflection as well, journaling, things like that. Yeah.
So I just want to take this a little bit further forward. I'm just going to draw one of my wonderful pictures, which everyone loves so much. Charlie, don't take the piss. Where's my whiteboard? There it is. All right. So, do you all know the drama triangle? Victim, persecutor, rescuer.
I watched
The
it
what,
yesterday.
sorry?
The drama triangle.
Drama triangle.
Yeah. So the drama triangle goes, there's a victim, there's a persecutor, and there's a rescuer. And that goes around in a drama like that. So the victim gets persecuted by the persecutor. The victim looks for a rescuer, and the rescuer gets angry at the persecutor. And the persecutor needs a rescuer in the drama, and the rescuer needs a victim in the drama, and the victim needs a persecutor in the drama. And when that drama is playing out, yeah, there's a problem within the system. So there's a little video on the platform that you can watch about the. In fact, let me see if I can play it quickly. Let's try this. Where am I? Just stop there quickly. I'll come back to that in a second. Share. Who posted it? I think Doc posted it. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
You hear it?
No.
Can you hear it?
No.
Stop the share and start it again. Sorry about this.
Charlie, sorry for getting back to you so late. You asked for that link to the
Yeah.
Daily Brownie. I responded, but like 3 days later.
Yeah, I got it. Man, I got it as soon as I'm back in touching my stress management. I'm going on. I got up that morning and I couldn't find the link.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
so let me just play this quickly.
Thanks, David.
Group. Find them on
Yeah.
the web at www.conscious.is. Conscious leaders know the difference between working from presence and working from the drama triangle. Presence is above the line, and drama is below the line. Most leaders and most organizations spend most of their time in the drama triangle. Drama is characterized by blame, wanting to be right, toxic fear, and adrenaline. Like good dramas at the movies, all drama has characters that play certain roles. The drama triangle has a hero, a villain, and a victim. The job of the hero is to seek temporary relief. The keyword is temporary. The hero is the one who gives a hungry person a fish sandwich rather than teaching them how to fish. The hero doesn't want others or themselves to feel bad, so they say and do things that make the immediate pain go away without facing and dealing with the core issue. When I'm exhausted from overworking, I hero myself by eating and drinking mindlessly, or surfing the web, or exercising. When another feels sad, I hero them by saying things like, "It'll be okay," or "I'll do it for you." The hero seeks value by being needed by others.
Does that make sense to you all?
Mm.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the things that we need to do to look after ourselves when we've been heroing. Okay, let's keep going.
The second role on the drama triangle is the villain. The villain's job is to blame. I can blame myself, others, or blame the group. When I blame myself, I say things like, "I shouldn't have eaten that donut," or "I should work harder," or "I messed up that presentation." When we blame others, we say, "It's your fault we didn't get that project done," or "You didn't give your best effort." When we blame a group, we say, "They messed it up for all of us," or "They just don't get it." The final role on the triangle is the role of victim. The victim is at the effect of. Life is happening to them. For the victim, a person, circumstance, or condition is doing something, or not doing something, that is causing the victim's life to be as it is. I can be at the effect of anything, including my boss, my kids, the weather, my job, the traffic, the economy, my body, and my mood. When I'm in victim, I'm feeling powerless. Every role in the drama triangle is a form of victim consciousness, And in the end, everyone is trying to prove that they are the biggest victim. When people and teams work in presence, the roles change. The victim moves from victim to being the creator. They take responsibility for their lives and stop complaining about what is happening to them. The villain becomes the challenger. Challengers bring healthy pressure to the creator to support them in facing and dealing with their lives in a way that creates a breakthrough. Unlike the villain, they don't blame or criticize. In presence, the hero becomes the coach. The coach doesn't try to fix anyone. They see everyone as fully empowered creators of their own lives and seek to support them in taking responsibility for creating the life they most want. Leaders and teams that learn to play in the creator, coach, or challenger roles of presence find they are more creative, engaged, aligned, and energized. They have more fun and get more things done. So, are you working from presence or the drama triangle?
Yeah.
No.
Does that make sense to everyone?
The first time I've actually seen it presented like that, and that hero one was quite interesting. I don't know if I fully understood it though.
Pinned it.
So the hero is, you can see it with a lot of people that do 12-step stuff. They go off and help people, and people get caught in the drama, and they can get really impacted by it. Are we keeping you awake, Charlie?
No, it's just because I've been up since 4:30.
So we're not keeping you awake.
It's just your dulcet tones, sorry.
Okay. All right. So you've got an idea of victim, persecutor, rescuer, or hero. What do they call it? Hero, villain, and was it rescuer? Hero, villain, and huh?
Citizen.
Victim.
Victim. Yeah.
Hero
Okay.
victim.
So what I want us to think about, yeah, is our own thinking, where we are within ourselves. So let me see if I can bring this one up again. Where is it? Okay, so do you see the whiteboard now?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are as individuals. Yeah. And in our thinking, yep, where do we think in a way that persecutes ourselves? God, I need to get to gym. I'm doing so shit. I need to this. I need to, fuck, I'm not working my program. I'm not good enough. Da, 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 da. And where do we start to victim ourselves and victimize ourselves? It's so unfair. The system doesn't support me. I'm da, 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 da. And where can we find our internal space
That just looks wrong.
where we can rescue ourselves, where we can look after ourselves, where we can move to coaching ourselves?
That looks wrong, David.
Huh?
That looks very, very wrong.
Yeah, don't sexualize it. It's not a balls. But what'll happen now is everyone will remember it now that you've put it like that, Tony.
Yes, we will.
Okay. So where do you victimize yourselves in your thinking? Where do you persecute yourselves in your thinking? And what is it that needs to happen? So, Vicky, when I asked you this morning, do you want to build the container? What happened in what?
No, thank you.
Yes, no, but what happened in your thinking before you said no, thank you? What was it that happened?
You rescued yourself.
Yeah, panic, rescue.
You
No
panicked
thanks.
yourself. Yeah? Okay, so you started to feel fear. Yeah? Okay. So in your past, who persecuted you?
Tony,
Tony.
Hey, not to do with me.
Hmm.
Alcohol.
yeah,
Okay, there we go. Okay, so maybe alcohol helped you. Yeah. How
But
do I
also
stop this now?
persecuted.
Right, there we go. Are we all back to normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So a way that I can victimize myself and persecute myself is that at school, being dyslexic, yep, I was told that I was stupid. Yep. And nowadays I can still think that I'm stupid and victimize myself and persecute myself based around that belief. God, David, you're so stupid. You can't get it right. You look at your spelling mistakes. You're not good enough. You don't have the degree. Da, da, da. And then I can move to the place of victimhood where, oh, the bloody education's rubbish. And look what they've done to me. And does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go with some example. So what I like about what Bruno said is he said, I don't share my vision with everyone, because some people just put him down. They just say, you'll never be able to do it. You haven't got any resources. You can't do it. Yep. And he's found his center and he's realized not to throw pearls to swines. Yep. Not to throw wisdom to people that aren't going to get it. Whereas in this group here, I think we really champion him and say, yes, Bruno, you can do it. How can we support you? Go for it. There's a very different energy.
I think it's all about changing your irrational thinking as well.
Say more about that, Tony.
Just like changing your negative irrational thinking to rational thoughts and because rational is based on the truth and irrational is based on not the truth.
Okay.
So I think it's very much based on that as well.
All right. So, what's the truth in your world?
Well, the truth is you've got to question whatever you're thinking irrationally. You've got to question that and change your belief into a rational belief.
So, what negative beliefs do you have about yourself, Tony?
No, no, I'm just giving that as an example
Okay.
about this exercise.
Yeah. Okay.
You can
I
now
was
bring in.
thinking,
I've got a little bit of a contradiction going on in my life, especially with AA.
Right.
I how much I like AA and how much AA man has given me. I can't show people in my AA my true vision for what I'm doing. Um, I feel as if people don't want to hear in my real path to recovery and the multiple paths some of that I'm doing right now. And how much I love AA and I love being around some people in AA. Most of the meetings I can't be my authentic self and I can't tell them about my bigger vision of what my passion is. It's I feel as if I'm shut down a lot in AA that I'm not heard. I can't be my true person because my passion for speaking about anything gets mistook for arrogance, or I'm getting too big for my boots. I shouldn't be saying that, sort of stuff in AA. That stuff's outside of AA. So I'm at an AA meeting tonight, and I know that I am about 5 levels under where I want to be. It's like I want to talk about this stuff, but I feel as if I need to talk about this stuff. So I feel like my authentic self has just been trapped there.
So,
Um,
what? So, Charlie, what is it that you want to talk about?
Do you know, I just want to talk about recovery in a whole, man. I want to talk about what's out there, what's the bigger picture in all this. Do you know, like, I love the spiritual principles in AA, but there's so much more to this than just AA. Do you know, I want to talk to him about my vision, about my coaching, even talking about my coaching role is a big no-no. So am I talking about my coaching or talking about my YouTube? Am I channel, that's a no as well. So I feel like, like what I would like to show them what when I'm actually doing and who I really am. I think when this is it, I'm getting there. It's like who I really am here. I love being in AA. I love speaking about the spiritual principles, but I've so moved on. This is who I really am here. This is who I am here. But I feel as if I need to keep talking about here. And I'm so moved on from here. I'm over here. And I don't feel as if I can speak passionately. I don't feel as if I can, it's curbed. So I've got that contradiction in AA. Um, um, and it gets mistook. For me having this big ego in AA. In actual fact, it's not. I'm just passionate about what I talk about in recovery and everything that we're trying to do. That gets a mistake for all. Charlie's got a big ego. He's arrogant and all this stuff. Um, so I've got me a contradiction where this is why I love being in these um containers because as you said, it's like we can be our true self, we can bring more authentic energy. I can bring that here and I can be me. I can talk about the paths and all this stuff. But in AA, it's very here.
I would just like to. Morning, Tom. Are you there?
Go.
Good morning.
Morning, mate. Do you want to check in?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Good. Good. All right. So we're just talking about victim, rescuer, persecutor, the drama triangle. We've gone for a reflection in ourselves, where our victim, rescuer, persecutor drama plays out in our own thinking, and we keep ourselves small.
Right.
And Charlie's just spoken about his challenge with institutional victim, persecutor, rescue, where the institution is keeping Charlie small in his perception of it. Yeah. Bruno, what's it like in your church? Sorry, I've got some AI thing on my Zoom now that's I've stuck my thumb up and it's just kind of like said, what happens if I put my hand up like that? Oh, there we go. Look, it's going to show my hand.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Bruno, what's it like for you? Does your church big you up or do they keep you small?
I beg your pardon.
Does your church big you up, supportive, or does it or does it keep you small?
My church?
Yeah.
My church, it's a tricky thing to talk about my church in terms of what you have asked. Because my church is the place where you just go, you meet one day, you pray together, but when in reality, everyone is praying by him or herself, because no one will ask you what you're going through. No one will ask you what you're working on. No one will ask you nothing. So that is the type of the church I go to. There is nothing like maybe we have some smaller groups where we meet with people and we discuss, we talk about our spirituality and our normal life. It's not there. It's just that type of church. In fact, it is just okay, my church is just fellowshipping. We fellowship together, but inside in our hearts, everyone is for himself and God for us all.
Charlie, do you recognize anything there?
Fellowshipping
Yeah.
and everyone in their own heads.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's not going to change. Yeah. The only thing that can change is the way that we respond to that. Or let me make it about I. The only way that system's not going to change. The only thing that can change is the way that I respond to it. So, for example, the educational system, my response to it needs to change. The medical system, my response needs to change. Yeah. I'm wanting to be recognized by those institutions. That's not going to happen. So I need to find some sort of peace with that and to keep moving. And it's difficult. I just want to own what a personal challenge it is for me, because then I move into the space of political intelligence. So I can get triggered and activated. Yep. And then I take that anger and then I start to criticize other systems. So I'll start to criticize the police. I'll start to criticize the academic world. I'll start to criticize doctors and psychiatrists and clinicians. Yep. And that doesn't do me any favors. And it doesn't matter whether I'm right or wrong. It just doesn't do me any favors. It's like working in a family and then I collude with the alcoholic and I just say, yeah, your wife's, yeah, I can understand why you drink. And, I don't like all that sort of stuff. That's not helpful for anyone. Is this still relevant as a community of practice?
Yeah, massively.
Okay. David Wright?
Are you asking the question to me?
Yeah, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I do. I think it's absolutely relevant. Now I'm just listening to you guys, and a whole bunch of stuff comes up for me in terms of how I understand recovery. What I'm trying to say is, Charlie, I mean, what I find important is to be careful of me when I start to generalize, when I say, this fellowship, realizing that I'm actually only going to one or two meetings and there's these individuals at
Yeah.
these meetings, you know what I mean? So there's that aspect. And I feel like I just want to talk about, I relate to what Charlie said. When you're feeling like other people are kind of having a look at you and they're having expectations. It's like me presently where I live. I have a landlord and he watches, my movements in terms of how often I'm out there in my car trying to earn an income so I can pay my bills. Okay. And I've been late for my rent and, I can easily find myself becoming a victim of my circumstances, but I need to become aware of that narrative and to change the narrative in my head to go, I'm doing my best. I'm taking care of myself. I will not compromise on my self-care. And in not abandoning myself, I can find, for the most part, I can find and maintain my center. But sometimes it gets really tough. And right now is one of those times. This consistent, ongoing feeling of kind of always living on a knife edge financially can be exhausting. At least I'm aware of it. And at least I have containers and community like this to come to, which is also part of my self-care, so I can speak about it. And just in people being willing to listen is immensely valuable to me. Because now I'm going to get in my car at 2 o'clock and whatever I happen to make will be fine. I will feel so much better because I have people who have my back in containers like this. So, yeah.
Only Vicky and Tom? Right, they've all gone down to the pub or something. They've
Yeah.
just kind of said, no, this is a lot of rubbish. We're out of here. Were you coming in there, Tony? I saw you just unmute for a second. Oh, there's a camera off. Okay, I don't know where they are. All right, Bruno, you want to come in?
I have nothing to add on that. Just listening.
All right. So both well, Charlie, David, and yourself, Bruno, you're all leaders in your own projects. David has Insights, Charlie has We Do Recovery, and Bruno has the Hope Foundation. And you're all leaders as well of your organizations. Yep. What is the burden of leadership for the three of you?
Such a great question.
I'm going to leave you to contemplate that. I'll be back in a minute.
Right.
Talk amongst
That's a-
yourselves about it.
That was a good question, wasn't it? That was a good one, isn't it? How to stop a container in one question? He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, the burden of leadership.
Would the burden be loneliness if I were, could that be a burden?
I don't know. I'm going to listen to you talk on your own behalf.
Um, a lot of what I feel is loneliness. All right, Tony. Yeah, I mean, David has just asked, what is the burden of leadership? He's just
The
asked the
burden of
container.
what, sorry, leadership.
Yeah, I mean, David Collins has just asked the container, what is the burden of leadership? And we're all just taking a second to digest that question.
Just to add to what you've said, Charlie, for Tony and Vicky, I have my organization that I'm in the process. It's a startup company that I'm in the process of working on developing. Charlie has We Do Recovery, and Bruno has the Hope Foundation. And as leaders of these organizations, David Collins went on to ask us, what is the burden of leadership? And
Thank you, David.
he said, yeah, he went on to say he'd go offline and he'd come back after we'd thought about it, but we're welcome to continue ourselves. Maybe, if I may, Charlie, do you want to carry on with what you were saying about loneliness, or do you want me? I have one or two things I can say.
Yeah, on you go, David.
Okay. Rigorous authenticity, rigorous honesty.
Wow.
So for me, given my circumstances and how life has unfolded for me personally, one of the things I'm always aware of, whether it be true or not, and I'm also aware of the fact that it might be true or not, but there's this constant feeling that certain individuals are paying attention to the decisions that I make. They're watching how I show up in different circumstances. So there's this ongoing kind of feeling of just being watched, being monitored, and I've gotten used to it. I've accepted it. But it can at times I feel a little bit overwhelmed by it. But for the most part, I'm okay. Constantly kind of feeling, am I going to make the next move? What I do to help me with when that comes up for me is to say, listen, I can make mistakes. That's how I learn. And really, I can't get this wrong. I'm doing my best. And that helps me to kind of carry on. So one of the things is kind of just being watched at times. The other thing that comes up for me in terms of a burden is what you said, Charlie, loneliness. However, there's some great wisdom in the phrase that one cannot be lonely if one likes the person they're alone with. So I change my thinking again and I go, yes, I don't have a companion in my life, but I'm willing to believe that there are no accidents and that when the time is right, that it will happen. And so I continue to let go. And then I turn myself towards the gratitude of being in solitude to get to find out who I am and learn about myself and understand myself more and make the necessary changes. So sometimes I can feel a little bit lonely, but I also know that I've got tremendous amounts of support and I can just trust in that. If that makes sense. And then just maybe the third one, burden of leadership, is trying to lead by example. You know, there are times when I just don't feel like showing up. And then I get into the space of, well, is it more about my self-care and looking after myself because I really don't want to show up for this container? Or am I going to put that aside, get some humility and go, showing up and being present is it's not about you, it's about everybody else in terms of it being a community and us sharing. And I know that I'll always feel better for it at the end. So getting over myself and saying, no, don't try and take the easiest soft way by saying you don't have to come to this container because you're tired and you can have a nap and that's about your self-care. Show up for other people. Leaders eat last, and so yeah, I just wanted to kind of that comes up for me quite a bit as well at times. So yeah, there's a few things.
Can I just quickly add, that's the reason why I come to this container for what you just said there, man, David. Amazing stuff, brother, and thank you.
Cool.
What is it that you loved about what he said?
I just love that statement. What he said about being lonely. I can't remember exactly what he said, but you're never lonely if you like the person whom you are. Was something like that, David?
Yeah, you can't be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. That's from Wayne Dyer, actually.
Is that from Wayne Dyer? I love Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that statement there, but Solomon, thank you.
I often talk to people in my Ubering. I ask them, what's your definition of success? I ask them and they come up with some really different types of answers and this and that. And then I always, I share with them that one definition that I quite like. And this talks to what David brought about the triangle, the dysfunctional triangle, but kind of being present, bringing one's presence, is that success is my relationship with the present moment, which has so much to do with the relationship with myself. Am I loving myself? Am I looking after myself? Am I doing my best? Have I got a positive narrative going on? Am I doing the things I know I should be doing? And am I avoiding and not doing the things that I know that I shouldn't be doing? And if I'm feeling good about myself, that to me is success. Not trying to be anywhere else except right now, right here. Always kind of coming back to the present moment and always bringing everything back to myself, not play the blame game. How could I have done that better, etc., etc. Yeah.
Should I come in?
Please, Bruno.
Okay, the burden of leadership. The first thing to me is that when you are a leader, you are expected to have answers of all the questions or all the solutions to any problem. I'll give you an example of the project we are launching. There is this guy, we are with him on the team, and is going to be heading the education department. So 3 days ago, he came to me. He was asking me, how far have we got the money to start the project? And I had to be, of course, I have to be calm. I can't tell him there is no money. We may not start. The situation is bad. I have to see a way of communicating to him that he goes when with hope. He goes back home with hope, much as the funds are not yet available, but he goes up with expectation that like anytime we shall do what? We shall get the funds. So for him, he expects me, like even if he's away for a week, he knows after 1 week, maybe I've gathered some money, maybe some 5,000 pounds are already in the bank account. But it's not true. I'm also just like him, only that I stepped forward to make sure that we have to fulfill the vision. That is one of them. The second thing, burden of a leader, what I see is thinking of yourself last. Because if you are a leader, in most cases, you are leading a team of people, you have to make sure everyone is comfortable before you make yourself comfortable. For example, if you are going to have if you have organized for food for your team, it's not cool to go and serve the food first. What if it is not enough? So you have to leave the others to go first, then you come last. So I see it as a burden of a leader. Then the other thing I can talk about is resources, like in terms of where I belong in my country. We have a challenges of scarcity of resources. And I know very many people have come up with brilliant ideas that can transform our communities and change our livelihoods and improve everything. But getting resources is a challenge, and it's only the leaders who are in that position of making sure that they get resources, they make ends meet. Then I'll talk about, I will also talk about loneliness, just briefly. I know Charlie talked about it, David talked about it. Loneliness is in a situation that, as a leader, how do you think? Sometimes you fail to to find someone who has the same thinking like you. And because as a leader, you think differently, you think in a big way. As someone is looking for a job to get an income to sustain his family, for you are looking at the big problem in the community. We don't have water in the community. What can I do so that we can get water? If you share such an idea with someone who is not a leader, they will tell you there is no way you are going to get money for the whole community. If you can get money, there is no way you can get water for the whole community. If you can get water for your family, that is all. So sometimes you don't have someone like-minded people where you live. That's why I'm looking at these containers, because these containers are, it's where I see they understand the language of everyone. Those are my views. Hoping I've made some sense. Thank you.
Understand the language of everyone. Oh, I love that. You're such a mystic, Bruno. Tony, Vicky, Tom, you want to go? Do you want to come in here?
Let me put my camera on. I'll leave my camera on. Yeah, we were just talking amongst ourselves while that were going on, and I typed our discussion in chat, basically carrying weight on your own shoulders as a leader. A lot of responsibility, a lot of decisions you have to make, and you don't always please everyone in leadership. So you're always going to upset someone with your decisions, but you've just got to keep going and move on with it. But I'm not a leader, so I can't really. I've not experiencing it.
Of course you're a leader.
Makes sense.
Yeah, what do you mean you're not a leader?
Well, I don't lead. Well, I lead by example.
Yeah.
So if that's
And?
classed as a leader, and I suppose some people see me as a leader sometimes. I lead certain groups. I do. So yeah, I am a leader. Yeah, I was wrong.
I love what you said about decision making, Tony.
Yeah,
That's absolutely well, the amount of decisions and what's what's the right decision in this set of circumstances. That seems to always be on the cards.
you're always going to upset someone, aren't you?
Yeah.
And sometimes that is leadership.
Yeah. Well, look at Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
He's upset 90% of the
Yeah.
population.
Yes,
He's the leader.
British politics is something rather interesting to watch. Okay, so we've come up to the hour. Tony, Vicky, and Tom, if you want to do a breakaway.
Yeah.
And this week, coach amongst yourselves around leadership.
Leadership.
And two things. One, leadership of yourself and others in whatever, whether that's family, whether that's parenting, whether that's in whatever context there is. And then leadership within your role within your organization. So even though you're volunteers in an organization, you still have the burden of leadership with you and management and taking responsibility for that. Making sense?
Yeah.
All right. And Charlie, David, and Bruno, the three of you are going to carry on and to do a triad amongst yourselves and just do that.
Just a quick one, Dave. Are we here next Tuesday or not?
What's the date next Tuesday?
Christmas Eve, 24th.
24th.
Okay, so Tony, do you want to be here?
Do we want to be here? I think we've got a lot on for our organisation, so it might
Okay.
be a bit tight.
Okay, so let's not meet next week
Right,
officially. Yeah, but we can meet, but it won't be an official one. So you guys are doing wonderfully on your certification. You must be well down your track. You must almost be done now. So, but keep coming, and I'll see you all next year. How are you three checking out?
Positive.
Yeah.
Checking out good, feeling positive.
Love it.
Thanks for a good session.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. See you on New Year.
All right,
Happy New Year,
all right.
guys.
Ta-ra, bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.